A chilly autumn morning filtered through the curtains as little Emma sat on the carpet, her chubby hands clutching her favorite stuffed bunny. But her big blue eyes weren't fixed on the toy today, they were locked on Max, the family's old golden retriever, who sat quietly by the window. Her mom, Claire, was busy folding laundry when she noticed how still Emma had been for the past 10 minutes. That was unusual. Her daughter was a whirlwind, always babbling, crawling, or laughing. But now, she just sat there, staring at Max with an expression that was curious. Almost like she was waiting for something. "Sweetheart, what are you looking at?" Claire asked softly, smiling. Emma turned her head slightly, her tiny finger pointing toward Max. "Doggy sad." Claire chuckled at first. "Sad? No, honey, Max is fine. He's just tired." But Emma shook her head, her voice serious for a toddler. "Doggy crying." Something in her tone made Claire pause. She walked closer, crouched beside Max, and gently ran her hand over his fur. He didn't flinch, but he didn't wag his tail either. His eyes looked distant. That gentle, happy sparkle Max always had seemed dull. Claire frowned. "Hey, buddy," she whispered, scratching behind his ears. Max looked at her, then let out a soft whine and rested his head on her lap. A shiver ran down her spine. She hadn't noticed anything wrong. He was eating fine, walking fine, or so she thought. But now, looking at him up close, something felt off. His breathing seemed shallow. Emma crawled over and placed her tiny hand on Max's paw. "Hurts," she said simply, her toddler's intuition cutting through the air like a knife. Claire bit her lip. "Maybe you're right, sweetheart," she whispered. "Let's go see Drive, Benson." That afternoon, Claire bundled Emma and Max into the car. The vet's office was only 10 minutes away, but every second felt longer. Claire couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. When they arrived, Drive, Benson gave Max a gentle pat. "He's a good boy," the vet said softly. "Let's take a look." Emma sat quietly on the chair, her bunny clutched to her chest, eyes wide and worried. She didn't understand what was happening, but she didn't look away from Max. After a few tests, Drive, Benson's face grew serious. "Claire," he said carefully, "it's good you brought him in. Max has a small tumor pressing against his lung. It's likely been there a while. We caught it just in time." Claire's hand flew to her mouth. "A tumor? Oh my God, doctor." Benson nodded. "We can remove it, but if you'd waited much longer, he might not have made it." Claire turned to Emma, who was sitting cross-legged now, humming quietly as Max licked her hand. "How did you know, baby?" Claire asked, her voice trembling. Emma just smiled. "Doggy told me." Claire froze. "What do you mean, sweetie?" Emma shrugged, her toddler words innocent and pure. "He said, ow, here." She patted her chest, right where Max's tumor was. Claire blinked back tears. It sounded impossible. Just baby imagination, but it was too specific, too perfect. Somehow, her little girl knew. After surgery, Max recovered slowly but surely. Each day, Emma would sit beside him, reading her picture books aloud in her toddler gibberish, sometimes singing softly. Max would rest his head on her lap, breathing easier. Weeks passed. The house was filled with laughter again, and the golden retriever's tail wagged with every sound Emma made. But something deeper had changed in Claire's heart. One evening, as the sun dipped low and the orange light spilled across the living room floor, she watched Emma and Max napping together. Emma's tiny hand was resting right on Max's chest, where the stitches had healed. They both looked peaceful. Tears welled up in Claire's eyes. She knelt beside them, whispering, "Thank you, baby girl." Later that night, when Emma woke up, she looked at her mom and said sleepily, "Doggy's happy now." Claire smiled through her tears. "Yes, sweetheart, because of you." Years later, when Emma was old enough to understand, Claire told her the full story, how she had somehow felt what Max couldn't say, how that moment had saved his life. Emma smiled shyly and said, "I just knew he needed help, Mama. I could feel it." And Claire realized something profound. Sometimes children see and feel things adults can't. Sometimes love speaks in ways that don't need words. From that day on, Claire never ignored her daughter's instincts again. Because that autumn morning, when a toddler kept staring at the family dog, It wasn't just curiosity, it was compassion. And that compassion had saved a life.